Hello and welcome to the Blytheway Morning Show. I'm Bonnie Hughes. Our very interesting guest today is Bluebird Merchant Ventures. They are reopening 2 gold mines in South Korea, and here to tell us all about the recent events that they published out today in a press release is Aidan Bishop, Director. Hello Aidan, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So I noticed today that you put out a press release on your second acquired gold mine, which is Koh Chang.
Yes, I mean, today what we announced was the signing of the formal joint venture agreement. So previously we had entered into a farm-in agreement with ASX-listed Southern Gold, and we're coming to the end of the activities that we had to do under that agreement, and we have signed the joint venture agreement. So what comes next for us is to complete the farming expenditure and to submit a report on the feasibility of reopening the Koh Chang gold mine. Gold and silver mine, I should say.
Excellent. And you also put out potential time when you would be starting production.
Yeah, we've been working also on the Gubong mine, which is or was South Korea's second largest gold mine, that we're bringing back into production. And that feasibility on reopening the gold mine we'll be submitting to Southern Gold next month in July. And we are looking at the 2 mines and coming up with our production plan and production target, and we're pretty confident that we can become a 100,000 ounce per annum producer within 5 years of commencing production. And as we announced today, we are targeting pouring our first gold at the end of 2019, last quarter, so that's pretty exciting.
That is pretty exciting, and considering that the short period of time that you've been working on these 2 gold projects, it's quite impressive that you are starting gold production in such a short time frame.
Well, that's the advantage when you're reopening a mine compared to an exploration project. The statistics that we saw state that about 1 in 1,000 exploration projects ever become a mine. So Bluebird, we sort of reduced the odds, and we started with mines that already exist. So reopening an old gold mine is far less costly because a lot of the development's already been done. Fortunately, in South Korea, the infrastructure is fantastic. We've got power, we've got paved roads up to 100 meters away from the mine. So a lot of costs that you would have if you were building a gold mine from scratch in other jurisdictions we don't have.
And it seems that when you acquired the Koh Chang mine, the rapidity that you've succeeded in putting out good results and moving that forward seems to exceed management's expectation when you read the news releases.
Yes, I mean, it's going very well. It's all good news for us in South Korea at the moment. The projects are progressing well. Previously, we'd announced some grades that are very good. The metallurgy work was excellent as well. So at the moment, we're on a bit of a roll. Actually, it's all going very well.
And so one of your plans is something called selective mining, which is what was done previously in those mines. So please tell us, what is selective mining?
So we announced that we have identified the initial feedstock for the Koh Chang mine. So that was all of the the ore that was left behind. And with grab sampling, you literally, there's sort of no science as such behind it. You just walk around and just grab pieces of rock. Whereas selective mining is that you actually look at mineralization and you actually hand select what you want. And as we announced previously, by doing that, we were able to have a significant upgrade in the grade of ore.
And so the next thing with the Koh Chang mine is you're looking to do some metallurgical test work on it going forward. And so how did your group come to be in hold of these mines, considering they seem to be very prolific and have a good amount of ore still left in them?
Well, South Korea I think is sort of an unsung hero of the mining world that we're putting back on the radar. Of course, the economy in South Korea is very advanced, and it shifted more towards technology in the 80s. At that time, the gold price was very low, so mining wasn't really a priority anymore in South Korea, and they've been very successful in the type of economy that they've built up. Ivanhoe, they took 3 discoveries, I believe it was, into production in South Korea, and Doug Kerwin, who also was an advisor to our company, I think led the team there and put us onto South Korea. And so we met up with Southern Gold, who had the portfolio, and we entered into an arrangement to farm into what they have there. But it's a very exciting jurisdiction.
And are you looking to acquire other projects in the area?
Look, I mean, there's 1,400 old mines in South Korea, so we got two. Well, let's start there, and there's many more. I mean, you can look at Southern Gold's website actually, and you could see all the different projects and pipeline that they're developing there. So it's a great relationship, really, as they are explorers, and as those develop further, we would become a natural development partner for them.
And I understand the depth of the mine so far is very shallow, so there's a lot of opportunity to go deeper on both mines.
Yeah, the Koh Chang Mine is about 150 meters, which is pretty shallow. So we've opened up most of that already, and there's a lot more potential to go deeper down. So the type of deposit it is an orogenic deposit, so these are typically very deep, and so there's a lot more to go, both at Koh Chang and at Gubong, where it's only down to a depth of 500 meters, so there's a lot more to go.
And can you give us some more details about the joint venture agreement that you just signed?
Yeah, the joint venture, so under the farm-in, we had 3 deliverables. One was to spend $500,000 into the project. The second was to make a placing in Southern Gold stock of 250,000 Australian dollars. And the third thing is to submit a report on the feasibility of reopening the mine. So with Gubong, we've accomplished that spend. We will deliver the placing. We will deliver the feasibility report next month. At Koh Chang, we will deliver in September, and we've almost finished the farm and expenditure.
And so you will have a 50-50 JV.
At the end of that, it's a 50-50 joint venture. Upon submission of the report on feasibility, we will jointly contribute going forward.
Okay, excellent. That's very good news.
Yeah.
And what can we look forward to in the future? More assay results?
Well, next week, actually, as we announced today, that we have results to release next week on ongoing metallurgy work from Gubong. And so that's coming up. Of course, we also announced previously that we are commencing metallurgy work at Koh Chang. So there's more good things to come. It's not like we'll suddenly go silent and then just reappear in Q4 2019 and say, here's the gold. There's a lot of steps along the way, of course, and there's a lot of good news to come.
That's excellent. And you have enough to continue funding your work program at this point?
Yeah, we do. If you look back at previous announcements, we're sort of unusually funded. When we made the shift to South Korea in early 2017, the company chose to fund it ourselves. So it's management and friends, and principally Colin Patterson, of course, has announced previously that he would be funding the projects, and he's done so far.
Yes, it's very rare for a company not to tap the equity market or the debt market. So it's very good to hear that management is participating in quite a big way in the growth of the company.
Well, look, we really believe in it, and it's a really exciting project. I mean, I look at Gubong, for example. The whole town of Gubong was built around this mine previously. They say, I don't know if it's accurate, but 22,000 people used to work in that mine, and not that we'll be employing so many people, of course. So it's a pretty exciting opportunity, really, to reopen what was a significant mine in the country. Really exciting.
This is excellent. Well, we look forward to more news, and we look forward to watching the rise in your share price as things move forward on the company. And thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on the Blythe Way Mining Show. Have a very profitable day.